Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Matt Trotter, and this is Hockey Related. Today, we're talking about Barret Hayton.
Middle, Hayton streaks in. What a great move! Oh my goodness!
And shoots, scores! Barret Hayton has tied the game!
Hayton scores! Barret Hayton drags it, scores! Barret Hayton! Chance in front, and Hayton scores! Pressure, chance, and they score. Hayton! That shot, scores! Fired across, big catch, score! Hayton shoots, he scores! Piot racing, here's Hayton, he scores! Barret Hayton, 3-0 Utah!
I decided I'd like to focus on Barret Hayton today because it's his birthday on June 9th, and I plan to release the video this week. And I also was doing some research on one of his ancestors over Memorial Day weekend, and his military story kind of just reached out to me and touched me, and so I thought I'd like to share that as well. Barret Hayton is a 6-year center for the Utah Mammoth. He was drafted 5th overall by Arizona in the first round of the 2018 NFL entry draft. When the Mammoth won the draft a couple weeks ago and got the 4th pick, everyone keeps talking about how important that the top 5 picks are and what an impact that the players can make on the team. And then I realized that Barret is a number 5 pick, and he is one of those players that makes a huge impact on the team. And I don't think I've heard anyone say that before, and I don't think that I really realized it before until I started looking into him. The left-handed Hayton made his NFL debut with the Coyotes on October 10th, 2019, and earned his first NHL point with an assist on a Nick Schmaltz goal and a game winner in Vegas. 2 weeks later, his first goal was a game winner against the New Jersey Devils on October 25th. Hayton has also played for the Canadian Junior National Team in 2017, winning gold, the 2019 Junior Championships, and at the age of 19, he was named the captain of Canadians' 2000 World Junior Championship team. Hayton joined the Canadian national men's team this last year and played in the 2025 Hockey World Championships as well. We know that the U.S. ended up winning that tournament, and Canada was defeated by Denmark in a surprising upset. Hayton has played 6 seasons in the NHL with Arizona and Utah. Last season, Hayton played all 82 games with Utah, bouncing back from an injury that derailed his 23-24 season. He had career highs of 26 goals and 20 assists for a total of 46 points. Hayton also had 7 game-winning goals. He earned his 100th career point in December and then recorded both his and Utah's first ever hat trick in Los Angeles against the Kings on February 22nd. Hayton is a center, and he played on both the first and second line in Utah's inaugural season. And as a new fan to hockey, it kind of took me a while to understand the idea of these lines and also the positions throughout the gameplay, how they rotated and everything like that. I found this website called dailyfaceoff.com, and it has a page that shows these combinations for the Mammoth during their very last game of the season. As you can see, the very top line is the first line, and that's Keller, Cooley, and Gunther. You can see the second line has Schmaltz, Hayton, our guy, and Yamamoto, who he came in and played the last few games of the season last year. There are also different defensive pairings that rotate in a similar manner throughout the game. So the first line on the defensive core, the blue line, is Sergachev and Dursey. They had Cole and Kesserling, and then they had Olli Mata, and then Robert Bertuzzo that were also rotating in and out of the game. As a new fan, I guess I just didn't realize how all of those rotations worked and how fluid the game was and how quickly they go too. They're only out on the ice for about a minute each time. As I was learning about these, especially with those charts, it really helped me to kind of understand where the lines worked and where things worked. And me having done a lot of genealogy, I'm used to watching charts and using charts, so I guess it just melted with my brain and helped me to understand. In genealogy, there's different charts that we use as well. This is called a vertical tree chart. In the vertical tree chart, it shows the family with the youngest person on the bottom, and then the branches of the tree growing up as the tree goes. This tree chart is from Ancestry.com. It also has an advantage that you can also show different siblings or aunts and uncles, or on different generations, you can show multiple people besides just direct ancestors in that tree. One of my favorite charts that they have, um, that I use a lot, is these fan charts. And the fan chart, basically, it starts with the youngest person as the dot in the center of the chart, and then the branches of the tree go out from there. So this chart that I'm showing you now, this is of Barrett's father, Brian Hayton. He's in the center, and then it shows the generations of family that go out beyond that, to 5 to 6 generations out beyond. Barret Hayton was born on June 9th, 2000 in Peterborough, Ontario, the second of 2 children to parents Brian and Sharon Hayton. Brian Hayton was a defensiveman for Guelph Platters in the Ontario Hockey League at the University of Guelph. In my research, I found many players in the NHL also have fathers or other family members who also played hockey. And that's one of the reasons I started to think about how hockey is family. A lot of the relationships, a lot of the things that happen there is centered around family. Brian Hayton married his wife Sharon in 1993. Sadly, Brian's father, Douglas, passed away just a month after the wedding at the age of 65. Brian's mother, Phyllis, lived until the year 2021. They both lived their entire lives in Peterborough. Douglas Hayton's father, who was also Barret Hayton's great-grandfather, Burton Alfred Hayton, is the 5th generation of the family born in Ontario, Canada. I was intrigued by his story. At the age of 21, Burton Hayton enlisted into the 155th Battalion of the Canadian Expeditionary Force on Christmas Eve, December 24th, 1915. The 155th embarked from Halifax, Ontario on October 17, 1916, on the troop ship Northland, and arrived in the UK on December 8, 1916, almost a year after his enlistment. The following year, in 1918, Burton Hayton was wounded at the beginning of the 100 Days Offensive that marked the beginning of the end of World War I. The Battle of Scarpe lasted 3 days, where the English forces lost 254 officers and over 5,000 enlisted men. The second day was a heated artillery and tank battle. As the Canadians moved on an important German defensive point, no less than 14 field artillery brigades and 9 heavy artillery brigades opened the barrage. And the crazy thing is that Burton Hayton was not injured by the enemy, but he was instead injured by the hot shells as they were ejected from the English cannons. He was severely burned on his inner thigh, on his shoulder, on his elbow, and on his back. And he was hospitalized for several months because of the burns, and he didn't return to duty until just before the very end of the war. He had the burn scars from the injuries for the rest of his life. Burton Hayton died in 1935 at the age of 40 from pneumonia. Isn't it interesting the things that you can find out about people? It was Memorial Day weekend, and I think that's why I clicked this file that was linked to him, to Burton. And reading through the file, it was there were so many details and so many little bits of information that helped me to piece together this story and help me figure out exactly where and when he was injured and exactly what had happened during the battle and things like that. Most of the time, the genealogy information that I work with is for deceased people, like the military personnel files that contain the information about Burton Hayton's injuries and the dates of service. However, with professional hockey players, a lot of their information is already found online. It seems like every hockey website lists the player's birth date and birth location. Many hockeys and sports websites do interviews with the players and their parents, especially while the players are really young. And many of the players who get married or have babies also have stories written about them. I mean, this last year, I think there were 4 or 5 babies that were born to players on the Utah team. There are also websites like Puckpedia and Cap Wages that also post the players' contracts, their wages, their bonuses, and basically all the money that they make. However, with all the information that's on the internet, I really struggled to find information about Hayton's mother, Sharon, and her side of the family. And for the sake of privacy, I try not to share too much information about those people who are living that are outside of the professional spotlight. But I would really love the chance to be able to meet Barrett and Sharon and to talk about her side of the family, or to share information I found out about the sixth generation of the Hayton side of the family. But that's all I have for today about Barret Hayton and how he and we are all hockey related. If you have questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments. It would also really help me out if you could like or subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time as we talk about how we are all hockey related.